Good morning, dear students. Today's lecture is the sequel to the previous lecture. In previous lecture, you have understood the introduction of the lesson, the surgeon, and then you understood the summary of the whole lesson. Today, we will be discussing some important issue. We will be looking at the theme of the lesson, and then we will try to understand the protagonist, the character of the surgeon, and also the title of the surgeon. Today, three issues, important issues from every point of view and an examination point of view. All the issues are considered to be essential. Now, in order to understand the theme, we are understanding the lesson itself, right? Okay, now see, the theme is displayed on your screen. There are various themes of the story. One can read the message of humility, magnanimity, loyalty, and integrity in the character of Robert Cindy. Now, all these features, humility, you are finding Robert Cindy as a surgeon a very human character. You are also find when you say magnanimity simply means when you have greatness of soul, you have elevated mind that is always looking for positive things is considered to be magnanimity. And loyalty, normally it is considered to be fidelity, or you can say faithfulness. And integrity in the character of Robert Sandy. Now we are finding all these features are present in this particular lesson. He is a different doctor who presents a loud and clear message to the world of doctors and other professionals to work with zeal and loyalty that certainly pays you beyond your expectations. Now, this is very, very interesting to understand. He is that type of doctor, who didn't have overall parallel. There are numerous doctors, in our locality, in our society, and everywhere we find them. But why he is different? Because he in this particular lesson you have to understand that he is presenting a loud and clear message to the world of doctors and also other professionals to work with enthusiasm, to work with what is called faithfulness. That certainly pays beyond your expectations, and that is why beyond your expectations in this particular lesson you will understand that exactly this happiness he is paid. Otherwise he is not accepting any money, he is not accepting any bribe, right? But he hardly accept very small gift like beer, etc. But here you will understand that he is paid beyond his expectations and he becomes a millionaire. He, in a way, is a Masiha who is preferred by the royal people over the costly doctors who lack true ethics and professionalism that the job demands. Now, he is considered to be Masiha in the lesson, and that is very fact. Why? Because he is treating all types of people, common people, royal people. He is not only, paying attention towards the people who are considered to be rich or who come from aristocratic families. Otherwise, if you talk of, number of doctors, what happens? They lack, the ethical value. They lack morality. And otherwise, their job demands something else. Okay, now see, in the current scenario, the doctors charge too much, which is always beyond the reach of common masses. When you are, going to any clinic, etc., or at that time, what you are finding that doctors are charging too much money, especially if you talk in terms of surgeons, etc., who are operating the patients, you know, and common masses sometimes are not in a position to pay that. On the other hand, when you see Robert Cindy, what happens? One should not be careless about one's precious and costly things. On the other hand, one should not be careless about one's precious and costly things. These things need to be kept at some safe places where they are not stolen easily, right? Now in this lesson, you are finding that Robert Cindy is given gift by a Arabian prince, and then he is keeping that gift that is very costly, and that is diamond, and he is keeping it somewhere in the safe place. The safest place he finds in his home, in a tray, in a refrigerator. These things need to be kept at some safe places where they are not stolen easily, right? That's why you have this particular line. Okay, in the story it is quite strange to see that Sandy's keeping the diamond in the freezing tray in the refrigerator, and you're finding he's keeping the tray in the he's keeping that diamond in a tray in a refrigerator, which is considered to be very safe place. But what happens? They leave the house unattended. You don't have any person in the house who will look after the house, right? They keep it unattended. And what they see, and see the result of the returning. When they return back, what they find? They find the diamond, which is, worthless, which is priceless, has been stolen. And at the same time, the condition of the house, the condition of the home is quite, you know disturbed. You're finding all chaos, all anarchy is prevailing in that particular house. Okay friends, this is basically the theme of the lesson. That's why you have number of themes. Okay, now let us try to look upon the title of the story. Now see, the title of the story is aptly The Surgeon. It is quite correctly The Surgeon, as the whole action is structured around Robert Cindy. You are finding the entire actions that goes in this particular lesson is moving around Robert Sandy, who is the surgeon. It is also very interesting to read that most precious stone, the diamond, comes back to Sandy after the surgery conducted on the thief, and you're finding it, that returns back somehow, and otherwise, sometimes it seems it is very difficult to get it back, and but it returns to Robert Cindy after a surgery conducted on the thief. That's why the surgeon is quite apt type of title, and it is very suitable to this particular story. Okay, friends, now the most important issue and the essential one. You have the character of Robert Cindy. Let us try to understand Robert Cindy's character, and students, that it is basically the man character. He is the protagonist in the story. Robert Cindy is the main character of the story. He is a soft spoken man with great humility and empathy. Both features you are finding it in the lesson, that are associated with Robert Cindy. He is a very soft natured person. You are finding an amiable person, and at the same time, sympathy, empathy, both are prevailing in this story, with Robert Cindy. Sandy is a highly skilled and committed surgeon. He is highly skilled and a committed surgeon. He is devoted to his job. He is actual professionalist, right? He is a benevolent type of character. He is a simple man and loves to ride a bicycle to attend his duty. He didn't have any ego. You don't find him a proudy or an arrogant type of person. He is a very simple person, and at the same time, that's why he didn't keep big cars and big things. He loves to ride a bicycle. He's coming on a very common thing, that is bicycle, to attend his duty. He has devoted his life to operate and heal patients with utmost patience, right? You are finding in the lesson that Robert Cindy has a lot of patience, and he has devoted himself to operate and heal his patients, and he is a successful, what is called, surgeon, right? Sandy is humorous and a sober person with no inclination towards becoming famous and rich. Now, another thing which you are finding in the lesson is simply that he is not, a person who looks, very embarrassing. He is a person who is humorous. You are finding a lot of humor is happening in the lesson, right? And he is a sober person at the same time because he is having a lot of patience, and he didn't have the inclination, or he is not, craving for becoming rich or famous. He is a perfectionist and gives only the best possible care to his patients. Now he is trying himself, to become the successful surgeon, and he is. At the same time, he is trying to give his best possible care to his patients. He does not believe in receiving bribes, extra money, and gifts from his patients. That is very positive nature of Robert Cindy. You won't find him that he is receiving bribes, he is receiving extra money, or he is charging a lot of money, or gifts of which are very costly. He feels happy to receive simple things, very simple gifts, very simple things, like a bottle of beer from his patients as a gift, right? He gets excited and feels delighted to receive a gift from the prince whom he had operated and cured recently, right? Now in the lesson, you are quite aware of the facts, as we have gone through the summary of the lesson. We discussed that this particular surgeon, Robert Cindy, gets excited and feels delighted to receive a gift from the prince whom he had operated and cured recently. Otherwise, prince has basically given him money, but he didn't accept. He has given him a lot of money, but he didn't accept. He hardly accepts, his what is called, a gift. He eagerly wants to show the diamond to an expert goldsmith. And then he shows diamond to whom? To the expert goldsmith, Harry. And then to his wife, whom he loves very much, right? In a fit of humor, he tries to avoid telling the cost and forces his wife to think it out, and takes time to tell her the real worth of the diamond, right? Now here you can understand some comic touch, is happening in this particular lesson. He tries to avoid telling the cost of the diamond to his wife, and then he insists her that she should tell what would be the cost of this diamond, and takes time to tell her the real worth of the diamond. His work ethics makes him a successful and most dedicated surgeon. His work ethics, because he is devoted to his work. He works tirelessly, right? And his work ethics makes him what? A successful and most dedicated surgeon. As the royal people avoid costly hospitals and love to be operated by him. Because if you talk of royal people, they won't, go to those hospitals which are very costly, where surgeons are charging a lot of money. And he is doing his job, tirelessly, like a very layman in his hospital. He is an admirable person who never wants to see people in trouble, as he quickly asks the inspector to release the doctor and the nurse and arrest the real thief. Now you are finding in the lesson what happens. You know, he he told the inspector to release immediately the doctor and the nurse because they are not thief at all, right? He does not want to see the people in trouble, and that's why he's admired by the people. In spite of all odds, Sandy's good work pays in the end. The diamond comes back to him because he really deserves it for his invaluable service, professionalism, modesty, and honesty. Okay, dear students, I am leaving you here. We'll meet you in the next lesson. Till then, goodbye. May God